Hey all, Justin with Hindsight. Little update on the winter project with the Lightning. As you can see, it's kind of blown up. Most of this I was planning on doing. Some of it I wasn't. The major items, if you haven't seen before, was the 351 base 427 Stoker motor, a built E04OD, and a Gearvendor Overdrive. So to make it a double overdrive, we're going to give that a shot, see what that's like. A 3/4 drop suspension with a little bit more modifications in the back, some in the front, but pretty much the way it comes. And then various other, core support was bad, some other odds and ends stuff. So I'll do a quick walk around on what I'm doing, where we're at, things that I found that I'm going to fix while I'm here. Those 5 famous words, hey, while you're there, go ahead and do that too. So anyway, here we go. All right, so there is front suspension, took out. That was planned, no big deal there. Replacing these spring shock towers was not planned. I don't know if I can get this in here, but right along here is where the top of the frame's from here to here. That's the top of the frame, and it's bowed out. It should be flat. So I know there was rust behind it, and I was concerned about the actual frame condition, which right there is where the bow is on the tower, which it's not great, but it's not bad. I'm going to clean it up, put new towers on it. The radius arm brackets aren't horrible. I'm going to clean those up. I'll probably end up getting new ones of those too. We'll put those on. So it'll have new bushings, obviously, there. So the only thing that's going to be left is the radius arm itself. Once I get it all put on there. It had huck rivets in it, so I cut all those out. I'll show how I do those on the back, because we're going to have to do similar situation. The other side looked fine, but while I was there, I went ahead and did it. Took the shock tower off of it on that side and cleaned it up, make sure it was good. So I will show those later on. So here is the mess in the back. So when I go to do these huck rivets, I'll show the way I do it. The older guy showed me how to do it years and years ago, and it seems to work really good for me. I've changed a couple things that I've done on it, but I'll do a thing on that. This plate here is a first gen Lightning thing they added in one of Ford's better ideas. At any rate, they rust out, obviously. Crap gets behind them, bubbles everything out. So I know the frame behind this is a mess. So when I'm gonna C-notch the back and use this with the addition of, I'm sure, some more metal. And on this side, you can see, since there's no fuel lines and whatnot, there's a spot, there's a spot, there's a spot. That's the frame. So both sides look like that. Both sides have the plate. So I'm going to get that plate off, clean all that up, add in the C-notch. I've already got the drop in the front, and then we still have a little bit more we can drop in the back. And I'm going to take a little slapper bar off. That's a Lightning deal. And then this, I don't know if we can get in there and see that, but it's a half spring. So that'll lower it a little bit in the back. And then I will put long bars on, and I will show those also later. So the core support was missing some various metal around where the mount is. So I got a new set of body bushings. I will put in new core support to go, because that one wasn't holding anything. So here is the new core support, but on inspection I noticed that this lower radiator bracket is angled in the wrong spot. So I'm going to remove it, put it where it goes. Everything else on it looks good. I will double check it again before it goes together, and then we'll get that put in, make that a little better. The actual mounts where the core support are in good shape. Those things are a lot more solid than I thought by looking at that core support. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that, so we're going to do that. You may ask why I still have the condenser in. So I left that as a complete setup, because when I got the truck, the air conditioner didn't work. And this is the last year for factory R12, and I had some left over from years ago. So when I put it back together, I put R12 in it, and it works great. So I'm going to try to keep it intact and see what happens. So that answers that. I'm sure somebody might have noticed that. If you hadn't noticed it, well, there you go anyway. And then also, you might have noticed the fenders off. Took the hood off, make the engine installation easier. Core support was already going to come off, so the fender had 6 more bolts to take out. Because one of the other things is I'm going to replace this door hinge. The little roller keeper spring rubber thing is broken off right here. They're notorious for that. Well, got another one of those. Woody painted it up to match the color. So I'm going to put it in, and it's a lot easier to do with the fender off, which sounds kind of funny, but I have done those with the door on, the fender on, and replaced one hinge. It's just more work than I wanted to do, seeing as though the fender was so much easier to get off. And the other thing is this pin is worn out. The bushings in this thing's worn out, so I'm going to fix that while the fender's still off, and clean up everything that's around here. And while I'm painting everything, we'll get it to where that's a little bit better. You're not really going to see it with the engine in, but at least it'll be better. Clean the evaporator core up, replace this insulation stuff that's on here, get that, maybe it'll keep it even that much cooler in the cab. I know that one time we went hot rod power tour, there was some traffic we sat in that it was getting warm. I can't even imagine how warm it was without air conditioner. I don't know. Cam, Mark, can you guys tell me how hot it was?
I'm sweating. You're what? I'm sweating. You're hot. On my foot crack and my balls and everywhere. Oh, foot crack in your balls.
At any rate, there's that part.